Hey guys, today I want to talk about my experience with the 16-ounce Cleto Reyes hook and loop training gloves. And in my opinion, it's actually really important to invest in high quality boxing gloves or Muay Thai gloves or whatever, just high quality equipment, because you're literally protecting your hands. You're using them all the time. You're hitting the bag, you're hitting pads, you're hitting people, and that can do a lot of wear and tear on your hands. And I've actually experienced this myself, as I didn't get injured, but there was a period of time about 4 years ago, which is how long I've had these gloves. Before I was using these gloves, I got this hand pain, and it was like really intense. It wasn't something you can just fight through. It was to the point where basically on the bag I would have to go super light, but maybe it was doable, but pads, no way. It was way too intense. I remember like my coach would hold the pads or whatever. I'd hit it one time, oh, it was so much pain, and I try to like not show it or whatever, but eventually we had to use like pool noodles, and even using pool noodles instead of pads hurt, and it was kind of getting concerning for me, and I didn't want to make push it any further, so I took like a few days off. It was a long time ago, I'm trying to remember, but anyway, the pain came back like right away, and rather than going to the doctor, which I recommend I'm not saying don't go to the doctor, but I kind of knew what the problem was because I could take a look at my boxing gloves that I had at the time, and you could just tell the padding was completely shot. But I was kind of stubborn about it because I only had them for like a few weeks, and I was sick and tired of buying $60 boxing gloves. Anyway, so that's when I decided I'd do some research, get maybe a nice pair with some good padding that would last, so that I wouldn't end up wearing the padding down and then starting to use the gloves with barely any padding. So I decided on Cleto Reyes, and I get the 16-ounce gloves because I always get 16 ounces because I use 16 ounces to spar and hit the bag. I think it's a good weight. I'd recommend it for most people. Now it's been 4 years, and honestly, during the pandemic they didn't get much use. So I would definitely say 3 years of consistent use that these gloves have gotten, and they're still in great shape. I still use them today. I still use them to hit the bag. I still use them to spar. I still use them for Muay Thai even. I still use them all the time. They're holding up great. The padding is, it's still intact. The glove still has a shape to it. The wrist support is still there. I mean, I don't know what else you could ask for. There is a break-in period for these gloves. It's going to depend entirely on how often you use them. For me, I don't remember how long. It didn't take long. It took for me like a couple months. I saw online it was taking some people like up to 6 months. I don't know. I don't think that was my experience. But you do have to break them in. So if you're going like to boxing 5 days a week, probably like a couple months or less. Cons of this glove. Number one, the price. This is a $200 boxing glove. That's a serious problem for a lot of people. I totally understand. But me, I was paying $60 for your typical pair of boxing gloves from the local store, and they would only last me about 6 months. Now if you do the math, I used these gloves consistently for 3 years. $60 every 6 months for 3 years. That's $360 right there. And like I said, I only paid $200 for these. I still use them, and I never got a hand injury. I had hand pain. It solved the hand pain. If I hadn't done it, I would have had to go to the doctor or something and get that checked out or fixed, or just keep buying more gloves. So it is expensive. It will not be possible for some people. This is something you save up for and you invest in. It's an investment. Aside from that, these gloves lasted as long as they did, partially because they're good quality, but also partially because I took care of them. When I finished boxing, I would go home, lay them out flat and open up so that you could air them out, and just let them air out for, however, I don't know, 15 minutes, sometimes longer, who cares, right? Just let them air out. Also, I had these deodorizers that I got that honestly I didn't even get them for deodorizing. I got them to absorb the moisture. So I would always have these inside the gloves at all times pretty much, unless I was using the gloves or airing them out. And that can extend life onto your gloves right there. But those are easy, so you should be doing that anyway, even if you're buying your $60 pairs of gloves. That's just good practice. Something else you should know about this glove is if you're one of those people like me who sometimes get a little bit lazy to put on hand wraps, Don't do that. I don't recommend it, but I do it all the time. The glove doesn't fit perfect anymore. It has a tendency to slide off. Not if you throw one jab and it slides off. No, it's gonna slide off after like 3 or 4 rounds. It's gonna start to feel. You're gonna start to feel it not on your knuckles as much, and you might want to just take off the glove and just push it further down. See what I'm saying? Right here, look. I don't have any hand wraps on. I put it in nice and tight, right? Even though I'm strapping it on really tight, after like 4 or 5 rounds, it gets like that. See how I pulled it up a little bit, and then my fingertips are kind of like over here. So that tends to happen if you're using those gel pads, which you shouldn't be using anyway. But if you use hand wraps, properly wrap your hands, it makes a perfect fit. It's no problem. So just thought I should mention that. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video useful. Even if you don't go with Cleto Reyes, I highly recommend protecting your hands and investing in something that's going to protect you. I got the links to the gloves and also that deodorizer that I was using in the description of this video. So check that out and have a good day.